ladies here as well. We need 6 gentlemen, please. You'll go inside, ma. Through the garage. Open the garage. Go through the garage. Garage. Yeah. Okay, let's go around. Let's go around. Yeah. Not straight back and then
Let's all kindly rise as we commence the opening prayer.
முகத்தவனே முற்றிலும் சொன்னவனே தூய்மை சுகத்தவனே மன்னவனே சிற்பரனே ஐங்கரனே செல்கரே தத்பரனே தத்பரனே சரணம் உலகாலாம் உணர்ந்து உதக்கும் அறியவன் உலகாலாம் உணர்ந்து உதக்கும் அறியவன் நீலமுலாவிய நீர்மதி வேணியன் அலைகள் சோதிய அம்பலத்தனாடுவார் அலைகள் சோதிய அம்பலத்தனாடுவார் மலர் சீலம் படி வா வாஸ்தி வணங்குவாம் மலர் சீலம் படி வாஸ்தி வணங்குவாம் மலர் சீலம் படி வாஸ்தி வணங்குவாம் திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி தனி பெரும் கருணை அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்.
Kindly take your seats, just give us a few minutes to set up and then we'll allow you to come through to pay your respects.
Okay, put the chairs.
கலிவினை கணபதி சரணம் சரணம் கஜமுக குணபதி சரணம் சரணம் கலிவினை கணபதி சரணம் சரணம் கஜமுக குணபதி சரணம் சரணம் தலைவன் நீரை அணி சரணம் சரணம் தலைவன் நீரை அணி சரணம் சரணம் சரவண பவனுக சரணம் சரணம் சிலை மலையுடையவர் சரணம் சரணம் சிவ 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 சரணம் சரணம் உலை வருவோரு மனை சரணம் சரணம் உலை வருவோரு மனை சரணம் சரணம்
Camera is still outside. That's my daughter in the UK.
Immediate family members should be sent. Dear family and friends, those of you that wish to pay your respects, we're now going to allow you to start coming forward. We're going to proceed from our right hand side. We're going to take the petals from the foot end of the casket. We do have an empty tray on top. You'll turn it 4 Amma's face and place it into the empty tray. Greet the family members on this side and kindly make your way back to your seats. Thank you. You can start coming forward now.
கருப்பொருள் பிள்ளையாரப்பா இங்கு உன்னை போல் நலம் அருளும் வல்லல் யாரப்பா ஓமெனும் கருப்பொருள் பிள்ளையாரப்பா இங்கு உன்னை போல் நலம் அருளும் வல்லல் யாரப்பா ஆலமரம் அரசம் மரம் பிள்ளையாரப்பா ஆலமரம் அரசம் மரம் பிள்ளையாரப்பா தாங்கள் ஆலயமாய் கொண்டருளும் உள்ளும் ஏதப்பா ஓமெனும் கருப்பொருள் பிள்ளையாரப்பா இங்கு உன்னை போல் நலம் அருளும் வல்லல் யாரப்பா வெற்றி பெற்ற நல்வினைகள் பிள்ளையாரப்பா உன்னை வேண்டியதன் தொடங்கியமை பிள்ளையாரப்பா வெற்றி பெற்ற நல்வினைகள் பிள்ளையாரப்பா உன்னை வேண்டியதன் தொடங்கியமை பிள்ளையாரப்பா கற்றமைத்த கல்வி எல்லாம் பிள்ளையாரப்பா கற்ற வைத்த கல்வி எல்லாம் பிள்ளையாரப்பா நீ கைவிட்டால் என்ன செய்வேன் பிள்ளையாரப்பா ஓமிடம் கருப்பொருள் பிள்ளையாரப்பா இன்று உன்னை போல் நடம் அருளும் வல்லல் யாரப்பா பிள்ளை என்று உன்னை சொல்வோம் பிள்ளையாரப்பா சிறு பிள்ளை மனம் எங்கள் மனம் பிள்ளையாரப்பா பிள்ளை என்ற உன்னை சொல்வோம் பிள்ளையாரப்பா சிறு பிள்ளை மனம் எங்கள் மனம் பிள்ளையாரப்பா சொல்லியன பிள்ளையாரப்பா சொல்லியன பிள்ளையாரப்பா எங்கள் உள்ளங்கள் உணாடி மலர்கள் பிள்ளையாரப்பா ஓமெனும் கருப்பொருள் பிள்ளையாரப்பா இங்கு உன்னை போல் நலம் மருளும் வல்லல் யாரப்பா ஆலமரம் அரசம் மரம் பிள்ளையாரப்பா தாங்கள் ஆலயமாய் கொண்டருளும் உள்ளம் ஏதப்பா ஓமெனும் கருப்பொருள் பிள்ளையாரப்பா இங்கு உன்னை போல் நலம் மருளும் வல்லல் யாரப்பா ஜெகசக்கம்பலம் போற்றி ஆழி மிசைக்கல் மிதப்பல் அணிதான் பிரானடி போற்றி வாழி திருநாவல் தொண்டர் பதம் போற்றி ஊழிமலை திருவாதே திருத்தால் போற்றி 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 தோடுடைய சேவியன் வீடையேறியோர் தோவன் மதிசூடி தோடுடைய சேவியன் வீடையேறியோர் தோவன் மதிசூடி காடுடைய சுடலை முடி பூசியன் உள்ளம் கவர் கல்வன் காடுடைய சுடலை பொடி பூசியன் உள்ளம் கவர் கல்வன் ஏனுடைய முனையினால் பணிந்தேத்த அருள் செய்த ஏனுடைய மலரான் முனையினால் பணிந்தேத்த அருள் செய்த பிரமாபுரமேவிய பெம்மான் இவன் நன்றே பெம்மான் இவன் நன்றே அருணேறிய மறை வல்ல மோனியகன் பொய்கை அலர்மேயே அருணேறிய மறை வல்ல மோனியகன் பொய்கை அலர்மேயே பெருடேறிய பிரமாபுரமேவிய பெம்மான் இவன் தன்னை பெருடேறிய பிரமாபுரமேவிய பெம்மான் இவன் தன்னை ஒரு நேரிய மனம் வைத்துணர் ஞான சம்பந்தன் உரை செய்த ஒரு நேரிய மனம் வைத்துணர் ஞான சம்பந்தன் உரை செய்த திருநேரிய தமிழ் வல்லவர் தொல்வினை தீர்த்தால் எளிதாவே தீர்தல் எளிதாவே மதிசூடி காடுடைய சுடலை பொடி பூசியன் உள்ளம் கவர் கல்வன் உள்ளம் கவர் கல்வன் திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். அம்மையே ஒப்பினாமணி அன்பினில் விளைந்த ஆறாமுதே பொய்மையை பெருக்கி பொழுதினை சுருக்கும் பொழுத்தலை போல தனக்கும் செம்மையாயே சிவபதம் செல்வமே சிவபெருமானே செல்வமே சிவபெருமானே அம்மையே அப்பப்பா ஒப்பிலாமணியே அம்மையே அப்பப்பா ஒப்பிலாமணியே அன்பினில் விளைந்த ஆரமுதே அன்பினில் விளைந்த ஆரமுதே அம்மையே அப்பப்பா ஒப்பிலாமணியே அம்மையே அப்பப்பா ஒப்பிலாமணியே அன்பினில் விளைந்த ஆரமுதே அன்பினில் விளைந்த ஆரமுதே பொய்மையை பெருக்கி பொழுதினை சுருக்கும் பொய்மையை பெருக்கி பொழுதினை சுருக்கும் பொழுத்தலை போல தனக்கும் செம்மையாயே சிவப்பதம் அளித்தேன் செம்மையாயே சிவப்பதம் அளித்தேன் செல்வமே சிவபெருமானே செல்வமே சிவபெருமானே இம்மையான் உன்னை செய்கன பிடித்தேன் இம்மையான் உன்னை செய்கன பிடித்தேன் எங்கழுந்தருளுவதினே இறைவா எங்கழுந்தருளுவதினே பால் நினைந்து மூட்டும் தாயினம் சால பரிந்து நீ பாவியனுடைய ஊனினை உருக்கி உள்ளொளி பெருக்கி உழப்பின ஆனந்தமாயே தேனினை சோரினது புறம் புறம் தெரிந்தேன் செல்வமே சிவபெருமானே பெருமானே யாருனை தொடர்ந்து சிக்கன பிடித்தேன் யாருனை தொடர்ந்து சிக்கன பிடித்தேன் எங்கழுந்தருளுவதினே இறைவா எங்கழுந்தருளுவதினே அன்பினில் விளைந்த ஆரமுதே அன்பினில் விளைந்த ஆரமுதே அம்மையே அப்பப்பா உப்பிலாமணியே அம்மையே அப்பப்பா உப்பிலாமணியே அன்பினில் விளைந்த ஆரமுதே சிவனே திருசற்றம்பலம் சிவமனம் சதா சிவா சிவ ஓம் சிவ ஓம் ஹர ஓம் ஹர ஓம் சிவ ஓம் சிவ ஓம் ஹர ஓம் ஹர ஓம் அன்னையும் நீயே தந்தையும் நீயே அழகிய தீயமை அருள்வாயே அன்னையும் நீயே தந்தையும் நீயே அழகிய தீயமை அருள்வாயே அருணகிரிநாதனே சிவ ஓம் சிவ ஓம் ஹர ஓம் ஹர ஓம் சிவ ஓம் சிவ ஓம் ஹர ஓம் ஹர ஓம் ஆதியும் நீயே அந்தமும் நீயே ஜோதியும் நீயே சுந்தரம் நீயே ஆதியும் நீயே அந்தமும் நீயே ஜோதியும் நீயே சுந்தரம் நீயே மதுரை சோக்கேசரே சிவ ஓம் சிவ ஓம் ஹர ஓம் ஹர ஓம் சிவ ஓம் சிவ ஓம் ஹர ஓம் ஹர ஓம் ஆனந்தம் நீயே ஆரம்பம் நீயே பாரங்கம் நீயே பணியிலும் நீயே ஆனந்தம் நீயே ஆரம்பம் நீயே பாரங்கம் நீயே பணியிலும் நீயே ராமலிங்கேஸ்வரே சிவ ஓம் சிவ ஓம் ஹர ஓம் ஹர ஓம் சிவ ஓம் சிவ ஓம் ஹர ஓம் ஹர ஓம் நீரிலும் நீயே காற்றிலும் நீயே வானிலும் நீயே மண்ணிலும் நீயே நீரிலும் நீயே காற்றிலும் நீயே வானிலும் நீயே மண்ணிலும் நீயே தில்லை நடராஜனே சிவ ஓம் சிவ ஓம் ஹர ஓம் ஹர ஓம் சிவ ஓம் சிவ ஓம் ஹர ஓம் ஹர ஓம் திருசற்றம்பலம் கண்ணியனே அம்பலத்தரசே அருள் மருந்தே ஆனந்த தேனே அருள் விருந்தே புது நடத்தரசே புண்ணியனே புலவரெல்லாம் புகழ் கண்ணியனே மலை தரும் மகனே மடமயிலே மதிமுக அமுதே இளம் குயிலே மலை தரும் மகனே மடமயிலே மதிமுக அமுதே இளம் குயிலே ஆனந்த கொடியே இளம் பிரியே அற்புத தேனே அலைமானே ஆனந்த கொடியே இளம் பிரியே அற்புத தேனே அலைமானே அம்பலத்தரசே அருள் மருந்தே ஆனந்த தேனே அருள் விருந்தே புது நடத்தரசே புண்ணியனே புலவரெல்லாம் புகழ் கண்ணியனே சிவ 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 சென்மய தேஜா சிவ சுந்தர குஞ்சித நடராஜா சிவ 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 சென்மய தேஜா சிவ சுந்தர குஞ்சித நடராஜா அம்பலமின்ப சிதம்பரநாதா அஞ்சிதர் குள்ளித பாதா தந்திர மந்திர சங்கரநாதா சங்கர சங்கர சங்கரநாதா அம்பலத்தரசே அருள் மருந்தே ஆனந்த தேடே அருள் விருந்தே புது நடத்தரசே புண்ணியனே புலவரெல்லாம் புகழ் கண்ணியனே புலவரெல்லாம் புகழ் கண்ணியனே புலவரெல்லாம் புகழ் கண்ணியனே திருச்சற்றம்பலம். காதலாகி கசிந்து கண்ணீர் மல்கி ஓதுவார் தம்மை நன்னிருக்கு வைப்பது வேதனாகினும் மெய்பொருளாவது நாதன் நாமம் நம சிவாயவே மாசவீனையும் மாலை மதியமும் மாசம் வீணையும் மாலை மதியமும் வீசுதென்றலும் வீழவே நிலம் மூசுவண்டரை பொய்கையும் போன்றதே உலகுக்கு ஒருவனாய் நின்றாய் நீயே ஓசை ஒளி எல்லாம் ஆனாய் நீயே உலகுக்கு ஒருவனாய் நின்றாய் நீயே வாசமலரெல்லாம் ஆனாய் நீயே வாசமலரெல்லாம் ஆனாய் நீயே வாசமலரெல்லாம் ஆனாய் நீயே மலையான் மருகனாய் நின்றாய் நீயே மலையான் மருகனாய் நின்றாய் நீயே பேச பெரிதும் இடியாய் நீயே பிரானாய் அடியின் மேல் வைத்தாய் நீயே தேச விளக்கெல்லாம் ஆனாய் நீயே தேச விளக்கெல்லாம் ஆனாய் நீயே திருவையாறு அகலாத செம்பொழுதி திருவையாறு அகலாத செம்பொழுதி
Welcome, one and all. I'm Krishnambal Naidoo, the youngest son of Sitram. Thank you for joining us today on this sad occasion where we bid farewell to Ma. We have a few speakers today who would like to say a few words. First up, we have Uncle San. Uncle San, if you can come through.
Good morning. Firstly, I'd like to offer my condolences to the family again and pray that God gives you strength and comfort in your bereavement. I was 7 when Auntie Krishni married my Uncle Ganesh, and she was just a teenager then. After the marriage, they lived together in the family home in Boom Street, where my eldest uncle, Sawapet and his family lived, Uncle Jackson and his family lived, and we also lived there. Auntie Krishni was someone of a very gentle disposition, always had a smile on her face. And being someone young, whenever her sisters came to visit during the holidays, they were famous for playing 3 tins in the backyard. Together, she and Uncle Ganesh bore 4 lovely children, Maga the eldest, then Dana, then Premi, and Citron being the youngest. Auntie Krishni was very particular about bringing up the family in traditional Indian cultures. She spoke to the children in Tamil and expected them to reply in Tamil as well. Now with us, the elder grandchildren, as I must say, my granny spoke to us in Tamil and we'd reply in English. You know, sometimes you regret why you didn't reply in the vernacular. Now, as I said, the family lived together in Boom Street for quite a few years, and then because of the Group Areas Act, we had to move to Raystop, and we lived together in the family home there in Greyton Road as well. Uncle Ganesh and Auntie Krishni built a home in Cypress Way in New Homes. And they lived there for quite a while. And then after the passing of Uncle Ganesh, Auntie Krishna and the family relocated to Durban. I spoke to my mom's late cousin's wife 2 weeks ago, and she was in Durban, and we were chatting, and she told me, she said, son, it's only Auntie Krishna and I that's left amongst that generation. And I told her then, I said, but I said, Auntie Krishna is quite ill in hospital. So, the family is dwindling slowly. As I said, once again, I'd just like to offer my condolences and sympathies to the family. Thank you.
Thank you, Uncle San. Next up, we have Auntie Sandy, who would also like to say a few words. Auntie Sandy.
Vanakkam, Namaskaram, good morning family and friends. I have two tributes from Auntie Krishna's nieces, Viji and Charmaine. Charmaine, I always believed that I had a special relationship with my aunt. This was forged mostly when I visited her during my campus breaks and later when I traveled back to South Africa. We shared many stories about the early days of her relationship with my uncle, and I was privileged to read some of the letters and cards he wrote during their courtship. But over the past few days, as I've spoken with the girls in the family, I realized that I was not the only one who felt that way. My aunt had a gift for making each of us feel uniquely loved and special. Viji, Petty, Sandy and I were inconsolable when we heard the news of Aunt's passing on. And I immediately shared this with my cousins on Sandy's request. All of us had some important recollection of Auntie. Sandy also told me that the boys also had fond memories of Aunt. Vivek remembered as a young boy the memorable times that he spent with her in Bull Street. Despite her health challenges, Auntie's hearing and long-term memory remained sharp. Ours is not a demonstrative family. We know we love each other, but we don't always say it. Yet in the last year, every conversation I had with my chitty ended the same way. I love you, and I would blow her a kiss. I would like to believe that there is an afterlife where she and my uncle are together again, continuing a love story that ended too soon. That is from Charmaine. Aunt's eldest niece, Viji, and I quote, Auntie held a special place in each of our hearts. My mum and I would visit, and the family bond, although short-lived, was really amazing. She stood in the gap when my parents passed away. She would often have candid talks with me. When certain funny incidents happened, she would say, your mum would have said it this way, and we would have a good laugh about it. She was also there for me when Shani was born, which I really appreciated, as she with my other aunts helped fill the gap. She even bought me an outfit from India. Yes, she held a very special place in our hearts and leaves a big gap in our lives. That was from Viji. It is my honor to pay tribute to a remarkable woman whom I affectionately call Ma. Ma was phenomenal in what she taught us and as an individual. There were no gray lines with Ma. It was either black or white. She taught her family to be resilient. When the chips are down, don't give up. Just keep trying. Change the perspective and move on. It is with her strength and resilience that she helped her family grow and prosper. Uncle Ganesh died in July 1980. She carried his absence and love for more than 45 years. She never let this deter her from making sure that her children were well educated and never short of anything. She has inspired us with hard work and discipline. In the words of Maya Angelou, people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. Every family member will attest to the fact that Ma would cook up a storm when anyone visited her. Your favorite dish will also be prepared, and she would insist on you having a meal. She was a fun-loving person who joined in at every function, in every celebration, party, wedding, nelungu, singing and dancing with the rest of the family. I know that her children, Mags, Premi, Dana and Citram, are going to miss her, but will always have those cherished memories that they shared with her. Farewell, Ma, till we meet again. Thank you.
சுற்றுனை வேதியன் சோதிவானவன் பொற்றுனை தீருந்தடி போருந்த கை தொழ சுற்றுனை வேதியன்
and by, in the sweet by and by, we shall hold golden shore.
Hi everyone. So we seem to have lost electricity in the area, but we will still continue. Just before we had Tiki Mama who played with his mouth organ, a tribute for Ma. Next up we have Nalan, who's Ma's eldest grandson, and he'd like to say a few words. Nalan.
Humble pranams, salutations, and Om Namah Shivaya. As we've gotten old, I knew one day this day would come. In writing this tribute to you, I didn't know where to start. So I'm going to start from the very beginning. On the 15th of March, I was born prematurely. And as you have told me many, many times, I was the groovy cat baby. I was born 4 years after the passing of my grandfather and your husband. And in exact words, like you've said, I gave you reason to live. This is when the special bond between us started. I have so many fond memories of you as we grow older. Like when I was around 5 years old, and I remember clearly spending a lot of time with you in the kitchen in township, rolling rotis. I don't know how many rotis you'd made at that time, but you always would give me my own dough to roll those rotis, and I don't know how you did it, but you were pretty much like a machine at that point in time, rolling as many rotis for, I think, everybody that lived in that yard. The one thing that was clear was that you were pedantic about cleanliness and always made sure that the toilet seat was cleaned and washed thoroughly before I used it when I was a pretty young boy. I think Auntie Sandy also mentioned as well, you were the master chef of note and made delicious meals even when you had a few ingredients. I think we'd had 4 or 5 ingredients at home, and you'd whip up something that was pretty much fantastic. I will always remember your famous fish cakes, your minced steamed pot pies that will always be embedded in my memory. And in this very same yard, when Mom brought Nirbani, JP, I think Pav and I, we'd pretty much stand in the yard, get ready to leave JP as Ma took JP. By the time we got to the bottom, Ma always made sure that we had something to eat, whether if it was a savory muffin, pancakes, those things were made in the fastest time possible. Even when we returned to pick JP up, there was always something for us to eat. When you lived with me in Johannesburg, you always made sure that the food was made a few minutes just before Jen and I arrived home to ensure that those meals were piping hot. Your motherly nature ensured that the greatest care was taken for JP, Pav, Nirvani and I. You played an instrumental role in raising us with the morals, values we have today, which was the foundation, and we are blessed to have you in our lives. You have taught us many life lessons and demonstrate the person that I have become today. Your teachings, your stories about your life and the struggles you had will always be remembered, and your memories will be lived in my heart for a lifetime. You were lucky enough to see your grandchildren grow into adults and see them have children of their own. I was privileged enough to watch you take care of my eldest daughter, feeding her, clothing her, and most of all, loving her. Making sure that after each bite of food, her mouth was wiped pretty clean. And recently, you enjoyed a game of snakes and ladders that you played with the youngest great-granddaughter. These are the memories that no money can buy. I got to learn some of your famous sayings and your famous lines and the wisdom that you shared through to us, such as, if we was angry, you'd say, take your cross and put it on the church. Tishan can vouch for this famous one here. When you're driving, don't let the guys snooker you. Just be careful of them. These are the timeless memories which I would not have had sufficient time to go through life that will remain with us for a lifetime. Thank you for all that you've done for us, Mom. Thank you for taking care of us. Even though the last 4 years of your life, your health deteriorated, we are blessed to still get to spend with you and have that special time. It's working. It's fine. It's okay. I think my voice is quite loud enough. So. We've got to live, or you've got to be with us for 84 golden years of your life, which is indeed a milestone and which many people will be lucky to see. And I stand here today having to say my final goodbyes, of which were the most difficult things I've ever had to do. Your love will still always be felt. Your memories engraved in my heart and mind. I was born on the 15th of March and you passed away on the 14th, ending your life before all of those years. Go well, Mom. I love you forever. Forever, 84. Mama, you asked me to say a few things about Ma's parents. Shall I proceed in terms of things? Yeah. Ma's mother and father Ma's father rather was a businessman. And I believe at that point in time, Ma's father, Gopal Govender, contributed to the school in cash, so the school can be built up, so his children can go to that school and get a good education. And another one thing I want to say about Ma is that when I moved to Johannesburg, I've gotten to spend a lot of time with you for the times that you've been there. And the casino, you love the casino. It was you and the casino, no phone call, nothing could get in the way of you. I remember when we had to look for you in the casino, I had to start looking. I made sure I start from the right hand side of the casino, going all the way, looking left and right to see you, or to find you rather. And I'll find you after, I think 20 minutes will go by, where you were there in your happy place. Even we said we're leaving in 30 minutes or 20 minutes, that time was enough. You enjoyed yourself, Mom. You even traveled to many places with the senior citizens. You went to name a few, Cape Town, I remember Swaziland at the time. But we will miss you. We will miss you. We'll miss your presence. You not being around. The memories and the stories and the life lessons that you've taught all of us will live on forever. Take care, Mom. Rest in peace.
It went off again.
Thanks, Pranalan, for those lovely words. Next, we have Nirvani, who will say a few words, Pranalan's sister, and Ma's eldest granddaughter. Nirvani.
Vanakkam, Prem Namaste to everyone. Ma to us and a big mummy to many. She was a mother to everyone. Ma was born Krishnambal Naidoo, Governor and married a Naidoo on the 19th of January 1942. It was a Monday. Her name says so much about who she was. Krishna, symbolizing love, passion, wisdom and protection. Ambal, meaning mother, goddess or divine lady, an auspicious name. And she truly lived up to it. Her love was endless, and she was a mother to all. She was the eldest daughter of 4 siblings, born into a loving home. Today, our giant has fallen. Ma was stunning, truly beautiful. Her sisters often tell me that nothing compared to her beauty. That when she was young, everyone would turn to give her a second look. I can vouch for this because every time she ended up in the hospital, the nurses would say, "Ma is so beautiful." Ma was a straightforward woman. She told it like it is. You either loved her to bits or you didn't. There was no in between. She was brave and courageous. If you had impacted her life, she would let you know. She loved to cook, bake, and she loved watching Tamil movies. She loved dancing and singing. She could knit and swim. She spoke many languages: Tamil, Hindi, isiZulu. Her love for cinema started very young. When she went to weekly to watch Tamil films with my dear grandfather, and often took my mum along. And nothing changed. She could sit for hours watching Tamil movies with my mum, and I would often hear her laughing to herself. She lived her life like a movie star. The saris, the shoes she owned were beautiful. She loved the good things, the finer things in life, and no cost was spared. She was a classy lady, and she was very strict. When I helped her get dressed, she would ask me to powder her face, put on a pretty dot, and I had to pull her sari so that the powder was not showing. Pin back her mundani to show her beautiful big borders. I had many roles in Ma's life: her personal hairstylist, manicurist, a chauffeur in the end, and in the end, a chef and caretaker. I went with her to her hospital visits, where she would pack a sandwich for me. She loved to smell good and always used attar. That smell would linger for days. She lived a full life and nothing short of amazing. She loved traveling the world, Africa, South Africa, and was brave enough to do it on her own and with her siblings. From Mauritius to Dubai to Bahrain and India, to name a few. She would narrate her life stories to me, and throughout her stories, one theme remained constant: love. She had the greatest love for her parents, spoke of them so dearly. Her father was a pillar of strength, and I was lucky enough to witness their bond, how she looked after him when he came to live with her. I saw the love and the admiration they both had for each other, their patience, the way she prepared his meals, and how she asked him, "Daddy, are you okay?" She ironed his clothes to perfection, every line pressed just right. I witnessed her worry when he was sick and the lengths she went to save him, even going to the Basha fields. Then there was a love story, like in the movies. My grandparents shared a love so unique. I never met my grandfather, but the stories Ma shared made me feel that I've known him all my life. He lovingly referred to her as Mary. His favorite song to her was Kabhi Kabhi Mere Dil Mein. Whenever it played on the radio, we both thought of him. The meaning of that song speaks of the love that feels destined, written by fate. Sometimes I feel like you were created just for me. Our relationship was written before you were born. You belong to the heavens and you were brought to earth for me. I share these words so you understand how deeply my grandfather loved Ma and how his passing impacted her life. Losing the person who thought the world of you. Ma faced many challenges. My grandfather passing away when Ma was just 37 years old. She was a widow. She never gave up. Left alone with her 4 young children, almost 5, as Ma would tell me how Ave kept encouraging her to have a 5th child, a daughter, even promising her all the brasswares, and an offer Ma quickly turned down. She remained resilient. When you look at my mamas and my mother, their morals, their values, their beliefs, the love for each other, you understand the role she played in their lives. All 4 of them are educated, married, and have their own families. Their kindness, gentle demeanor, willingness to always help, and the love they share show exactly how she raised them. If you want to know what Ma achieved, look at her 4 children. I only truly understood the role of a mother when I became one myself, and I can only imagine what Ma endured to keep her children well taken care of while carrying the emotional strain alone in the end. No achievement was beyond her, from booking her own driving lessons to getting her driver's license at almost 60 years old. to diligently practicing the art of true light by becoming a common committee at the age of 64. She did it all. She was the orchestrator of her life. She was it started off early when she was a packer at Dillon's. She was also involved in the Tamil Progressive Association for many years. She was employed from 1981 to 1984 at North Day Hospital as a housekeeper, and at the Challenge Unlimited from 1992 to 1996. Mao had an extraordinary ability to make roti like Lightning McQueen. My brother spoke of this. Before I could even get to the kitchen, I could smell hot rotis on the tawa. She would turn 3 rotis on one tawa, and before you blinked, there was a stack of 100. Her fish cakes, Chinese chicken, dumplings and mince will live in our memories forever. This is where my love for making idli was fostered. I watched her share her recipes with her sisters. She could make anything from the fewest ingredients. You never went hungry at Ma's house. Whether it was early morning stops to drop off JP or a casual visit, there was always food. Idli, appam, apple crumble or cheese toast. We ate whatever she made and we never left hungry. She loved calling everyone to check in and could make friends everywhere, from Srinivas in India, whose wife Veena considered Ma to be her own mother, to Uncle Kannan in Australia. Her aunties, uncles, nieces and nephews. She'd call Auntie Shama, Auntie Kumari, Uncle Jace, Auntie Sandy. She'd call everybody to check how they were. She could even call my mother-in-law Anne. She truly was Big Mummy to everyone. She was always there to help her sisters with whatever they needed. When they had weddings in their homes and would cook for all their Nelungus, she was always impressed by the way she was treated while visiting her sisters, and would come back to tell me stories of how Auntie Tilla would prepare and treat her like she was the queen. She was so good explaining in lengths how her meals were prepared. Ma was my first encounter with unconditional love. She was there for me and I was there for her. 84 years still doesn't feel long enough. I want everyone to know that she loved you all, whether you felt it or not. Her love was unconditional. To her siblings, Ma was the mother you lost early in life, and she stepped into that role perfectly. She spoke of you with pride and loved you deeply. To my mamas and mum, if you love deeply, you will grieve deeply. This loss will change you forever, but remember, Ma lives on through you, just like how she kept our grandfather alive in her heart. You were her greatest achievements, and she was so proud of each of you. To my cousins, Ma had a different meaning to everyone. To different people, she meant different things. She may not have always knew how to say and show she loved you, but please remember, she did. She came from a place of love. She was there at some point for each one of us. Ma did her best. It might not have been good enough for some, but to others it was everything. I love you, Ma, and I will never be the same again, for I feel your absence when I walk into a room. And I miss that bright big smile. Our last conversation was, Ma said to me, because at that time in hospital she had not been able to recognize anybody, and my brother had called me on that Tuesday when he went from work to just see her, and he thought of me and called. But the first thing she did was, "Hello Nirvani," and she would say my name to the T. "Hello Nirvani, I love you, Ma. Don't worry about anything. Thank you, Ma, I'm fine." Always reassuring me, your love and your wisdom shaped me every day. I'm lost for words for the gratitude I have towards you, for the person who helped raise me and care for me. We took you along for almost every moment in our lives, from weddings to graduations to birthday parties and Friday night drives. Even with 6 in the car, you was always included, to early morning breakfasts. I hope we did you justice, and I hope you felt how much we love you. You will always have a seat at our table. Thank you for waiting for us to say our goodbyes. Because of you, our grandfather's love story, and because the both of you fell in love, we are now a family of 29. Your love stories live on. Let us take solace in that we have each other. Our grandfather has finally been reunited with Mary. Please guide her and hold her hand. Till we meet again, Krishni. Rest in peace, Ma. You left the world better than you found it. Sometimes there needs to be an end for there to be a better beginning. Here's to a better beginning for you. Thank you.
எந்தன்
Hi everyone. I'm about to call up our final speaker, but just before I do that, I'd like to open the floor to anyone if they'd like to say a few words. You don't have to come up now. I'll give you some time if you want to think about it. But for now, I'm calling up Big Gary, Ma's eldest son, to say a few words. Big Gary, next.
Good afternoon, everyone. I never expected that this day will come. And although we all know that it will arrive one day for all of us, I didn't think that I would have to do this. Mommy, I've searched and I've searched, but I do not know when the universe began. I do not know how it is, how big it is, and I do not know how it will end. What I know is that you are my creator and my protector. Amma, Pida, Guru Devam. Your mother is your first God. This is my God. I don't know whether a God exists. I don't know how big the universe is. I don't know where it started, but I know this is my God. You, like your namesake, Lord Krishna, even with 1,000,000 arrows piercing your body, you put a never-ending fight right up until the last minute. You never gave up. You didn't want to go. You never gave up. You put up that fight. Neither the doctors nor I could match your indomitable fight, your indomitable spirit. And we couldn't keep you fighting this material fight in this physical world. I can read pages as big as the Mahabharata. I wouldn't finish my mother's story. I wish that somewhere, in another realm, another plane, that Daddy, Tata, Ave, your party, that's your father's mother, and your Attas, those that dearly loved their beautiful one, that they have welcomed you into their chariot and are having a celestial celebration. I wish that the good vibrations from up there penetrate this material and physical world and improves the quality of the lives of your loved ones. And that one day, when it's our turn, you gracefully welcome us to that great celebration out there. You know, there's so much here, Ma. I know you wanted one of your sons to be like Sivaji Ganesan. Right? I hope I can act like him, Ma. But one thing, at least Pranalin will know. Every morning, from the time I was in school, when I went through to work, my mother will send me off with these words. Allah yatkanya. Did you take everything? Did you forget anything? This forgetful son will forget everything. His anki, his lunch, his everything. Good day yatkanya. So Nama, it's my turn to ask you, Amma. Amma, ni Allah yatkanya. Go well, Ma. Go in peace. I love you, Mom. I really love you, and I'm so sorry. I just couldn't keep you going on forever and ever. I am so sorry I couldn't do that. But there is a time to say goodbye. Bye, Mom.
Hi everyone. I just wanted to check if there was anyone who would like to say a few words as well. Okay, we're now just going to play a song as a dedication to Ma. JP. Hi everyone. We're going to have a song from Ma's sister, Yani Auntie.
Yen amma, yen amma, yen arugu amma, yen amma, yen amma, yen amma, yen amma, yen தெய்வம் நீயே என்னம்மா என் தெய்வம் நீதானே என்னம்மா உன் உள்ளே நான் வளர்ந்தேன் 10 மாதம் செமந்து பெற்று எந்த அம்மாவே என்னம்மா என்னம்மா என் தெய்வம் நீயே இரவெனிலே நான் அழுதாலும் தூக்கி நீயே தொட்டில் போட்டு தாலாட்டி பாலூட்டுவாய் என்னம்மா 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 என் முதல் தெய்வம் நீயே என்னம்மா என் தெய்வம் அம்மா என்னம்மா என் உன் உள்ளே நான் வளர்ந்தேன் 10 மாதம் சுமந்து பெற்று எந்த அழுகுமா என்னம்மா என்னம்மா என் தெய்வம் நீயே என் முதல் தெய்வம் நீயே என் முதல் தெய்வம் நீயே என் முதல் தெய்வம் அம்மா தரணி அம்மா தரணி அம்மா தரணி அம்மா 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 ஜெவ பாயோமம் அம்பிகை அம்மா ஜெவ பாயோமம் அம்பிகை தரணி அம்மா ஜெவ பாயோமம் அம்பிகை காவிரி ஜோதர தீரவாஷாணி காவிரி ஜோதர தீரவாஷாணி கர்த்தேஷி மும்மாயி காவிரி ஜோதர தீரவாஷாணி காவிரி ஜோதர தீரவாஷாணி கர்த்தேஷி மும்மாயி தியாகர விஜயபூர் அம்மா தரணி அம்மா அம்மா தரணி அம்மா சேவ பாயுமும் அம்பிகை ചരചരമുമ്മായി തരയനിറമ്മായി ചരചരമുമ്മായി തരയനിറമ്മായി നരരാമശിലകാന വീരാന ഭൂമി ചരചരമുമ്മായി തരയനിറമ്മായി നരരാമശിലകാന വീരാന ഭൂമി തിയാകര വിജയപൂരമ്മ തരണിയമ്മ ജയപായം അംബികേ തരണി അമ്മ 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 നമഃ ശിവായ.
சுமந்த
To Mommy, to Maha, to Big Mommy, to my mother, to my giver of life, to everything I stand for. I know you grew us up to be strong, Mom, but I'm sorry I can't be stronger. I love you, Mom. I miss you, Mom. And you've been the world to me. You gave us life. Your blood will flow in my veins forever, Mommy. You taught me so much. We had so much fun together. In December, Mom, I can't speak here because no matter what I tell you, I will never do justice to my mother and my father here because my father died. I was 17 years old. And my mother was my mother and my father. And she took the world of care for us. She will never let you walk out of here without having something to eat. And we provided a meal for you, so please, in our honor, please partake in what she would want you to do. And I'd say, I feel very selfish when I stand here. I feel very selfish because I've always hoped in my hearts of hearts and prayed whenever I did, and everybody knows I never did that often. But whenever I did, I prayed for my mother to recover and to get well and to be here. And she worked hard her entire life. She worked hard to make sure that we all have the strength and we have what we need to continue with our lives. But in our selfish spirit and the spirit of what we want, we wanted her to be here and be here no matter what. And she fought that fight with the greatest strength that I wish I could ever take a fraction of that from her, despite everything that went on. I am grateful to my mother that she knows everything that I wanted to tell her. She heard it from me. We sat in my lounge many days. She left my home in January to go to my brother's house in December, in January. And the deal was she was coming back to my house at the end of March. But I didn't expect the deal to be like this. But I can tell you, no matter what I say, I wouldn't tell you the power of this woman. I would never be able to even, I don't want to insult my mother by trying. But I will tell you the lessons she has left us with, the entire family and all of us. I hope we can do you proud, Mommy. I hope you can rest in peace. Finally rest in peace, Mommy. I'm able to speak at so many things, Mommy. I can't speak for you, I'm sorry. I love you, Mommy. I will always love you. And I want to play you the song we used to listen and laugh to, Mommy. And you kept asking me if that is for me. I told you, yes, Mommy, it's for you. Because nobody will replace you, Mommy. Nobody. So I want JP to play that song for me. I want to hear my mother to listen to it for me. I love you, Mom. I'm sorry I'm not strong for you today, Mommy. Thank you, Mommy. Thank you.
So dear family and friends, we're now going to commence with the last rites. This is meant for the children and grandchildren to partake in. But those of you that are going to partake in this prayer, please, you need to keep in mind that if you start something, you'll have to finish it. So if you're starting today by holding the stick and going around the box, you need to fast for the 16 days. And going forward for the next 11 months, you cannot be observing any other prayer except the prayers that we do for Ma. So going forward, there's no fire walking, there's no kavadi, there's no Aman prayer, no Lakshmi prayer, no fasting prayer, nothing until the 11-month ceremony is done. So only those of you that are going to fast for the 16 days and observe the memorial period for the next 11 months are allowed to do this prayer. The rest of us, we can just kindly stand aside and in the end come and offer the petals. Keeping this in mind, those of you that are joining in the prayer, please assemble here, that you come first. However, I'll need two ladies to assist me to sprinkle the water and light the camphor. Whatever is said about the morning period and the fasting will not be for you because you're just assisting us with the prayer. Those two ladies, I need you all here. The rest behind there.
Just to be clear, those that are holding the stick have to follow those rules. If you want to walk with us, you can just put petals in your hands and you can walk with us.
Sorry, that it'll be easier for them to just do the petals in the end because we have limited space. 60 people going around won't be practical. Don't force Ma. She doesn't want to.
Namah Shivaya.
Rest of you come place your sticks in a clay pot and stand behind the lamp. Dear family and friends, the Naidoo family would like to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for taking the time off and being here with them during this their time of bereavement. For all those of you that have rallied around to put the funeral arrangements together, for those of you that have contributed whether in cash or in kind, for the various floral tributes, the messages of sympathies and condolences, and the Devraj for the rendition of the beautiful hymns, they would like to say a very big thank you to each and every one of you. On behalf of us at Pinetown Funeral Services, we also take this opportunity to convey upon the bereaving family our heartfelt sympathies and condolences, and we pray to the Divine and Almighty that He should shower this family with His choicest of blessings and comforts in order for them to overcome this unbearable loss. We are in the next few minutes going to proceed from here to the Clarence State Crematorium, where cremation is scheduled to take place by no later than 2:30. Anyone that has not yet viewed, you may please also join the queue to come through to pay our last respects before we close up and pray to proceed. Thank you. Come on, present towards the wall. Come for the front and one. And turn the other upside down. Turn it upside down. Give me some water, man. Take some water. Bring the pieces. Drop the leaf down. Hold it from your right hand. Pour the water and circle right on the camp and turn the chumbo upside down. For family members, we've got 3 family cars. Let's all get into the vehicle so we can proceed in a convoy from the house.
I got the car. I'll look up.
I
got it. You go. I'll take the car.
You know what we do for now? Just load all the ladies in the car. And the men can come back with the person. And then we can all proceed together. You know? Go in the car.
Yeah, you have to get the shoes.
No, take both of them.
Yes, just
Anyone else going to come in the family car? Come on. Yeah. Go down the road first, you can take one checkers and from there we'll come to that's right. How many people are using the car? 2 or 3. Jump in the black car. This one? Yeah. There, go in the black car. I'll drive behind you. This one.
Jagra